48 seconds of logos, including Sony filleting themselves twice. The opening shot of this movie is on a watch, and it's Swiss made, so you know it's good. The time is 6:43 p.m., but then the security camera here says it's 21:05, which according to my math means it's 9:05 p.m. That's a full 2 hours and 22 minutes off.
Be good.
Superheroes' parents leave somewhere and die in a Marvel movie cliche. These two are supposedly escaping into the night with secrets so damning they had to literally abandon their son, but they still took a private jet? That's gotta be a company jet, no? Is it possible that by chartering this jet you doomed yourselves through sheer paperwork obviousness? Or did Colonel Jessup doctor these flight logs as well? How exactly did this assassin kill the pilot in a way that would have also put blood directly on his hands? Later we see that he positioned the pilot so as to keep the plane steady, and maybe doing that put blood on his hand. Why didn't he just put that on autopilot? And if you're telling me that he didn't know how to put the plane on autopilot, why not? That would be so much simpler than positioning a dead dude's arms to steady a plane. Man, this assassin guy sure waited a long time to kill the Perkers. If he was sent here for this very reason, to stop them from talking, he nearly done f***ed up. And if the company is one step ahead and has an assassin pilot on board, why even let this plane get off the ground at all? It's cinematic, I suppose, but it makes zero sense.
They say you're a genius.
Why hasn't he killed the Perkers yet? Why does this guy, who is an assassin, have to monologue? This fight scene shot and edited by Turbulence itself. What the Spider-Man movies have always been missing, honestly, is more Air Force One. When people ask me where The Amazing Spider-Man 2 went wrong, I always blurt out the very first scene before they've even finished asking the question. This f***ing plane that is f***ing dive bomb crashing and decompressed with multiple f***ing holes in it does not still have a solid f***ing Wi-Fi signal. This movie exists because the other one exists. Also, did he jump out of a plane? This guy is super high above the ground in a free fall, above super high buildings. I hate everything about the CGI in this shot. You rubber neoed Spider-Man. The director and the prop master had a massive disagreement over the definition of enough rolled up blueprints. The movie tries to out Blues Brothers the Blues Brothers.
I'm sorry, I'm running a bit late. I got stuck in some traffic.
Bad pun aside, not even 5 minutes ago you were swinging around New York City literally asking for some crime to stop. So you were late because you were late and an asshole, not because of this current incident or predicament. Of all the things this movie didn't really have time for, the visions of the dead dad of your girlfriend is the most frustrating. Holy this movie is asking us to believe Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's characters are only just now graduating high school?
To remind us that time is luck.
You just told us time is valuable and precious because it ends, but time is also luck? That was pretty, but doesn't make much sense to me. Time is only what you make of it, and luck will or won't happen depending on how much God hates you. Spidey spins in midair to avoid the bullets, but I don't know why that matters if you're spraying a hail of bullets at one fixed target.
It makes me not able to live with myself.
Peter would rather keep a promise to a dead guy than live his best life with the woman he loves. That's f***ed up. I'm here to tell you, promises to dead people aren't all that important. Also, breaking up in Chinatown. Also, breaking up in Chinatown was A, the original title of Katy Perry's song Waking Up in Vegas, B, the original title of the Paris Hilton sex tape, C, the original title of the Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston smash hit The Breakup, or D, the original title of Chinatown.
You have done this to me again and again, Peter.
Yeah, totally. Like when you were Kirsten Dunst and he was Tobey Maguire. Skip!
How about that Spider-Man last night on the Manhattan Bridge?
But why should we see that when he's got a nerd to save from a pack of bullies? Oh man, this is so much better than dating Gwen. It's at times like these that I imagine all the time Spidey doesn't save people who are about to get hit by cars, or stop the convenience store robbery. These montages always make it seem like he's saving everybody. And how many times does superheroes shop in these places and it just so happens to be the same time he gets robbed? I mean, Jesus. Is it still stalking if it's your girlfriend? Yes! You, movie. She doesn't have Spidey sense too, does she? Note to the commenters, any of you try bringing up Spider-Gwen right now and I will lose my
Give me a second on me, I'm gonna get the door. Just give me a second.
Peter, please just let me in, all right?
The classic Aunt May might find out Peter is Spidey thing happens because Aunt May needs something done with her car. She really needs to get in Peter's room to tell him that, doesn't she? It's so very important. And why is he suddenly struggling to take the suit off? Is it stuck?
That's why you're here. You remember my birthday.
Sometime after Ray, Jamie Foxx started thinking everything he did was rad, and that trend sadly continues to this day.
They should call you the Amazing Spider-Man.
Roll credits moments aside, this Max has an unhealthy obsession with Spider-Man moment just exacerbates how much time this movie wastes getting to the goddamn story. Spidey took out Russian Paul Giamatti at the beginning, he broke up with Gwen, and it's taking a f***ing lifetime to get to the Electro part.
This is my laundry, my home, my machine. Back off. Eat your breakfast.
Hold up. Who serves a lettuce on wheat sandwich for f***ing breakfast? Christ, this is the secret life of Spider-Mitty. Spider-Man saved people from an apartment fire, part 64.
Out of all the people in the whole city, he saved me.
Yeah, and even let 1 or 2 people die in a horrific car accident in order to save you. I'm still shocked about it.
It's dark in there. Your eyes will adjust.
Every bit of advice my father gave me on wedding night somehow made it into this script.
I don't believe in miracles.
Well, look who's not getting an invite to Hot Chocolate's Summer Jam in Jamaica this year. Jesus Christ. They have all this equipment keeping Norman alive and round-the-clock care, but nobody cut his fingernails, which are f***ing claws now. The camera? Sony. The laptop? Sony. The chairs? Well, probably not Sony, but you get my point.
He is survived by his only son, Harry Osborn.
The only picture we could get of him was when he scowled at the cameras, getting into a black SUV that makes him look villainous. Meanwhile, in the underground Oscorp level, entirely devoted to the study of electric eels. Wait, what? Let's talk about this villain. He gets shocked real bad. So bad, he falls into an electric eel pit. Remember, Oscorp is half aquarium. Gets shocked some more, this time underwater, and that turns him into electricity in liquid and gas form? Shock a guy enough, drop him in water, and he's basically Sandman with water and electricity? This Electro in this specific movie might be the most yada-yada villain of all time. I know more about how Pennywise works than this f***ing guy.
Hey, Harry.
Yeah, let me go visit my old buddy at work after his father died, and he's probably busy as with new Oscorp duties without a single phone call.
10 years. It's 8. Chloe, what's up?
Hold up, Peter just graduated high school. He's 18. 8 years ago, he was f***ing 10. So is this movie saying this is a supposedly strong friendship and they haven't seen each other since they were f***ing 10 years old? The f***? At 18, I didn't even remember my friends from 4th grade, let alone feel any kind of attachment to them.
Dude, that whole model thing is so exhausting.
We didn't have time to show you what great buddies Peter and Harry are and were, so now we're gonna grind this f***ing thing to a halt to show you just that before Harry turns into the Green Goblin. Also, what the hell is this scene? Peter and Harry left the Oscorp estate, which was established to be somewhere near Central Park earlier. Now they're somewhere near the Manhattan Bridge, which is at least 7 miles from that location. Regardless of whether they walked, drove, or took the subway, they've somehow been followed by a surveillance van with Donald Mencken in it, who was at the meeting Harry just left from. How the f*** does Mencken coordinate something like that? And how does Peter not have spider sense working? Also, if they were just gonna do a harmless outdoor activity while they talked, why the f*** would these two not just walk to Central Park 2 blocks away and feed the f***ing ducks or something? I like location scouts, but we're either paying them too much or we're not giving them enough information.
You gotta admit, though, things have gotten crazy around here, man. Giant lizards and spider guys.
Cronuts. Max discovers an insane power, but because the movie refuses to acknowledge him as a human being, we get this creation of a monster scene, complete with the man putting on a hoodie to cover up his appearance. The man talked to himself constantly. Don't we want to hear what he has to say about his newfound situation? Even it really is my birthday would have been fine. Cinnable, but fine. I'd play the God's Casio keyboard soundtrack music for Electro here, but I'm a little gun-shy about music these days. Point is, what starts out sounding like Electro's theme as a piece of music ends up being presented as some kind of electronic music he himself is producing on purpose by the end of it. And that is whack. I really wish these two had made it, and the movie characters too.
If we're gonna be friends, I think we gotta establish some ground rules.
Skip all the skips. Every f***ing one of these cars has a car alarm. I thought I skipped this.
Have you been following me?
He has, and yet this is another movie that's going to give me a stalked girl who is charmed by it instead of repulsed. Listen, literally none of the girls I ever stalked were cool with it, but the movie makes it seem all hunky-dory. Sure, you can sense something going on in Times Square when Max is behind it, but you can't figure out when bad guys are recording your conversation with Harry. Have you ever thought your spider sense might be racist? How does he know to save this one guy with all the cars going in different directions? Also, you're saying out of all the cars that just got shot into all the different directions, he's the only asshole to nearly get hit by one? What? Gwen is here? Look how far away that is from where they were eating ice cream. She walked 25 blocks that quickly. And how did she know this was something she wanted to witness? Gwen Stacy being here right now is a lie. Would someone tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed up as a spider steals all of my press? Wow, Spidey Sense just went from being a faint clue about imminent events to a full-on Quicksilver once around the scene before I have to act. And that is some f***ing bullshit.
Now it's time for me to light my candles.
Then a whole bunch of bullshit happens. Something with a fire hydrant, I don't know. Steals all the electricity, sends out a wave of electricity, which physically destroys buildings and like, I am now starting to understand why and how this movie ended up with 9 credited writers.
Do we have visual on Spider-Man?
Nope, not even the director. I mean, he is helping firefighters shoot water at Max, but I don't know why that had to be a big surprise. Visual jokes are fun, but not when they mean Spider-Man took time out of this urgent mission to put on a fireman's hat just for a visual joke. God damn, people are f***ing dying, dude. Holy Christ, this guy likes posable lamps. I don't dare play the audio for the song, for reasons, but the second Amazing Spider-Man movie has an odd Philip Phillips song set to a montage. It's weird. Dr. Jolings has videos that get into the hundreds of thousands of views, but only 2 people who subscribe. That f***ing YouTube algorithm, man. Also, this video does nothing except tell you if the incoming charge exceeds the outgoing charge, the battery could explode. That's f***ing it. This video isn't getting 200,000 views and 92 likes to 0 dislikes for that. In fact, just the word battery is going to get some asshole to dislike the video before they even watched it.
I need to find I need his blood.
Why does Harry think that just because Peter took a photograph of Spider-Man that he's in good with Spider-Man? Remember in the previous series when Harry knew this about Peter because he regularly took pictures of him and claimed to know him somewhat. What in this series makes anyone think Peter knows him?
I gotta talk to you about England.
Please do! Please talk about England! We've still got an hour. Why not? Peter does a routine straight out of Now You See Me Too to create a distraction so Gwen can get on the elevator before security gets to her. But then she rides down many flights. Like, does the company have security only on the 24th floor? They couldn't radio downstairs?
Gwen Stacy.
Oh my.
Jesus, who's next in this Oscorp elevator casting call? Aunt May?
I mean, it's Peter. Everything's always complicated with Peter.
Yeah, like when we were 10, last time we were friends. He was always so f***ing complicated. Evil Dr. Guy says here in a minute that he's here to study this guy. But how do you know so much about him right off the bat to build this part steel, part water, part electricity prison for him?
I'm Electro.
Seriously, we need to find a way to get Electro and Electra in the same movie, and something that's not called The Kingdom or Valentine's Day.
I'll tell you everything I know, but it will hurt you.
This is the same thing I said to my college girlfriend when she asked if I had any experience. Someone needs to tell Peter that this lamp that he has resting against the wall full of maps is probably a fire hazard.
He took the D train to work at 7 every morning, came home at 6 every night.
Wow, that casual information that is being passed off as part of a string of evidence that Richard Parker was a normal dude will end up being extremely important information to Peter very soon. Seriously, why does Peter do this? Can't he just say he can't find Spider-Man? Does he really think Harry's going to be cool with whatever Spidey says about not giving him blood?
You're a fraud, Spider-Man!
I think we can agree that Harry Osborn and everything about him is one of this movie's biggest issues. I mean, that's truly saying something, because this movie's got issues.
The only thing I keep coming back to, Gwen.
I feel like they're still eating ice cream just before Electro goes to Times Square. That's how old and tired this scene feels. It was 33 minutes ago, by the way, and nothing has moved plot-wise. Ah, I see this movie's story went to the Shawshank Redemption School of plot reveal via angry projectile.
He took the D train every morning at 7 to work.
See, told you, but also, she had the words in a different order when she said that. She said to work every morning at 7, but Memory Her is saying every morning at 7 to work. If I can remember it correctly, you'd think Peter'd be able to as well. He's the super genius, right? Man, this short-lived franchise sure loved putting Spider-Man in the subways, didn't it? Both the Amazing movies have extensive subway exploration sequences. That's weird. This is cool and all, but how did a scientist guy manage to put all this together on his own? This is some bullshit. This took 6 years, several programmers, a blacksmith, and 36 different contractors to build, you dicks.
Whatever lies will be told about me, I would like the world to know the truth.
That's why I kept it so hidden that nobody would ever find it unless my son threw a calculator against the wall and found subway tokens, and had just heard from his aunt that I used to take the D train, and that led him to Google something about Roosevelt and subway and D train and solve this whole mystery.
Norman Osborn has falsified evidence against me in order to take control of my work.
So wait, Norman Osborn knew that Richard was going to betray him, so he falsified evidence against him, which means we are way down the line in the process of a friendship tearing apart and a business partnership being dissolved, and yet Richard still had access to the Oscorp lab to take back all his research without anyone knowing until it was too late? Peter watches one video of his father on the secret subway car lab computer, and I think that's it. Huh, this is way more Ghostbusters than I think they intended.
I think that maybe it's time to let this go.
This isn't an overdub or AR work. This is a voicemail Emma Stone left for the studio after she read the script. Unfortunately, she was under contract. Meanwhile, you don't even want to know about the voicemails left for the studio by Shailene Woodley. Where'd he get the suit with the lightning bolt on the sleeve? Or is he manipulating electricity to look like he's wearing a suit? The suit is nuts. He looked fine already, and the suit isn't real because he just dissolves here in a minute, so off, suit.
Let's take a walk, shall we?
Why? Why do you even need this guy? Can't Electricity Man just turn into E-Ether and enter the walls and find out where the secret lab is that the electricity runs to? Can't he image or blueprint this building in a heartbeat by going electric? Most of this movie he's too f***ing powerful, but here he's utterly useless.
The future.
Yeah, no. Of course, this string of movies couldn't launch the Sinister Six because they made all the same mistakes from Spider-Man 3 that led them to rebooting these movies in the first place. A movie that is overbloated and has too many villains. This movie is even 2 minutes longer than Spider-Man 3.
Do it. Now.
Harry trusts this corporate asshole to stick him with this spider venom needle, when I'm pretty sure I barely trust qualified people to do this correctly. This strobes on for some time. He seems really up. Oh, never mind. He'll be fine. I guess I didn't realize there was an entire protocol dedicated to healing him. Any other protocols I should know about? Training wheels? Ghost? So when Peter got his message from Gwen, he thought maybe she hasn't gotten to the airport yet. New York traffic, what can you do? And made sure to spell this out on the bridge just in case she was stuck in the traffic.
I know there's a million reasons why we shouldn't be together. I know that. But I'm tired of it.
Me too! Skip!
Did you try magnetizing them?
I love how this movie basically shoves Gwen Stacy to the side except for Peter's relationship status, and then bam, at the third act break, she's like, try something anyone halfway smart in science could have figured out long before this to make her seem worthwhile to the story. This movie even tries to work in some brand new Nurse Aunt May action, because the only idea this movie had it didn't use was Mary Jane Watson.
I will control everything, and I will be like a god.
This is the closest Electro gets to explaining his motivations, and it's still murky as f***. This fight full of nonsense and obfuscation where no one seems to have any advantage goes on for all the some time. As Electro literally plays the Itsy Bitsy Spider song while beating Spider-Man's ass, I'm left to wonder, is this real f***ing life? Who are the ad wizards that came up with this f***ing idea? F*** you, movie. I hate everything about this finale. It's a bunch of audio and video noise. It's somehow a migraine wrapped inside a sleeping pill. No one will be seated during the will the two planes avoid collision portion of the film because they'll all be standing up to leave.
No, Gwen, no! Do it now!
There is no f***ing way she heard that. Spider-Man is surrounded by a cacophony of electric noise, and Gwen is far away behind glass. Honestly, all movie long, we've all been mostly thinking about the local air traffic controllers, am I right? Oh goody, the Green Goblin! The reboot strategy totally makes sense now, because there clearly wasn't enough Green Goblin in the Raimi trilogy. I can't think of a more apt metaphor for this movie than Spidey continuously missing the mark while something flies around in circles above his head. As Gwen slow motion falls to her death amid falling gears and other clock-related things, I'm being utterly forced by the movie to remember her graduation speech about time and how we should make the most of it because it ends for everyone, and having a hammer smack me in the head kinda hurts. Whoa, Spidey, you need to take it easy, eh? Nearly 90 seconds of funeraling.
Now that Spider-Man's gone, this city will never be the same.
Oh, I'm counting on that.
These dumbasses assume Spider-Man is completely done, rather than simply taking a break to launch this Sinister Six plan. This is a cliche. It's new, but it counts. It's the someone goes to visit the recently imprisoned supervillain right at the end of a superhero movie cliche.
Who's our first volunteer?
Alexis Savage.
We picked him because it's somebody the audience will be familiar with after the first scene of the movie, when he proved to be terrible at his job. So he was a perfect candidate.
Peter, where are you going?
Gwen is gone. You can't change that. You can't stay sad forever. You're you're 19 years old. Where the f*** is camera? There was nobody at the f***ing graduation taking video that got this close up and got film quality sound out of it. And while I can't point to any one shot that proves this shot is good enough for me to sin this bull.
We have to be greater than what we suffer.
We have to move on. We have to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. Who took that f***ing picture? Looks like maybe Peter took this both of them sleeping selfie, but it's either pretentious or they got Denny from the room to take it, and that's a sin. What am I missing? Rhino looks like a clumsier, slower, not flying version of Iron Man. Rhino is just a tank in walkable human form. This movie's best scene is a throwaway tail-end stinger, teasing a future where Spider-Man accepts the possible consequences but still fights crime boldly and proudly. But I can't remove a sin because Paul Giamatti was f***ing wasted so hard.
Again.
Indian Golf 909 are transmitting in the blind guard. Disengage, repeat, disengage!
Hey. You kicked me off to boarding school when I was 11.
11?
I'll tell you everything I know.
First, the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came.
Always money in a banana stand.